Good morning. I'm Simon Tuck, Senior Director of Public Relations here at the Forest Products Association of Canada. Bonjour et bienvenue. Je m'appelle Simon Tuck. Je suis le Directeur Principal Relations Publiques pour l'Association des Produits Forestiers du Canada. Welcome to member companies, media, educators, job seekers, and others who are joining us today online. And very special thanks to the Honourable Mary Ann Mahaichuk, Canada's Minister of Employment, Workforce Development and Labour, and to members of our FPAC's HR Committee who are joining us today here in Ottawa in our offices. C'est avec grand plaisir que nous pouvons enfin partager cette annonce avec vous aujourd'hui. We're all very excited to be able to make this announcement today, to tell you what it will mean for Canada's forest product companies and the many Canadians who'd like to join what we call the Greenest Workforce. Without further ado, I'm going to ask my colleague Bob Larocque, our Vice President of Climate Change, Environment and Labour, to kick things off and tell us about and show us this important announcement. Bob.
Thank you, Simon. All right, excuse me. Yeah, so we're very pleased to announce today the Greenest Workforce. So the tool is actually on the greenestworkforce.ca. The Greenest Workforce has been live for about 2 years now, but what's different today is we created a brand new job match tool, which we're very excited about, and a lot of labor market information to help Canadians find jobs, to help our industry post their jobs and find good candidates, and also to help departments and politicians and academics get access to sound data down to the city level that we can make a difference going forward on our policies and education. So, part of the tool, you would go on the greenestworkforce.ca and you would see what you're seeing on the screen right now. And if you were to go click on the labor market information, you would notice that we are providing trends. So that would be the jobs that we've actually filled. They're the number of jobs available in Canada in the past 5 years. And we're also going to be doing some forecasting. And what's very different about our tool is as you click on it, you're able to see the total amount of jobs in Canada, and you can see Canada for the next 5 years. But then you're also able to see by province, and then British Columbia, just because it's the first one, there's north and south. And then you can see we have separated all of our jobs. We hire a lot of different careers, so woodland, skilled trades, science and engineering, mill operations and administration. And just for skilled trades as an example, you can see how many of the different skilled trades, a video-duty mechanic, for example, that we hire across the country. Those are the total amount of jobs that we hire in Canada. But the tool, which is another different, will also forecast the jobs openings or the vacancies. So you just simply click on search. And the tool is totally accessible and querying. You can do it 2 provinces at a time. You can do it 2 different skilled trades at a time. It can all be brought up into an Excel spreadsheet for analysis at a future date. And this is totally available for free. Anybody can use it without having to register or apply, and it's available today. So for an heavy-duty mechanic, we're going to need 18 in North Alberta this year. We're going to need 15 next year, and on and on and on. And this will be updated live. If we have a lot of new work, for example, that changes our forecast, it's going to be done automatically. This is not a forecast that happens once a year or every 3 years. We're also going to be doing some wage and vacancy survey like the department is doing to update this information, and we also have an economic algorithm. So when we put all that together, this is where the forecast comes from. So it's a pretty powerful tool. But this is all table-based if you want, and for the more visual people, we also have a nice little interactive map where if you click on it, it gives you a map of Canada. And then you just have to click your city. And I'll just pick Prince George because we have a lot of our members here today. BC. And there's currently 10 jobs open in Prince George. And what are those jobs? You very slowly just go down. You will go search. Oops, technical glitch. It happens. There will be one job in Dawson Creek, and you can go on and on and on online system. So this is all how it works. And then on top of that, we have the job matching tool. And in the job matching tool, you would go in advanced search, and it looks like a typical job bank where you have all your different careers that you can search. You have a map of Canada, and we also have all the different jobs. So right now there's a job for Miller Western, Warehouser, Resolute, all across our country, and you can search them by mill operation or skilled trade. So if some people are interested in a very specific type of job, you can access it. If you're more interested about how many jobs total are available in the country from the forest sector, it's also available there. And just as an example, I just want to clarify that for a job seeker, it's absolutely free. You just log in. We have a little bit of information like your email, for example, because if a company wants to reach out to you and say, look, would you like to come for an interview? That's all there. And you can post your resumes. You can have multiple resumes. And then as an example, if I was a job seeker, I would go to this warehouser job as a production supervisor. I would read about it. I'm interested in it. And I would just go to apply now, and my resume would automatically be sent to the warehouser company. And after that, it's between the candidate and the company to decide on the job. Vice versa, I want to be clear for all employers that this tool is absolutely free. We could not have done that without the support from the Government of Canada Sector Initiative Program. And because of that, it's available to any company across Canada, not just FPAC members. This is a national program. It's absolutely free to join, and then you can post your jobs. And what's very interesting, when you post your job, there's an automatic job matching tool, which means that when the job gets posted, it looks at the candidate's skills and aptitudes, and then it gets matched automatically, and both the employer and the candidate receive a message from the system saying you've been matched, you may want to consider to apply, or the employer, you've been matched, you may want to consider to contact the candidate. So this is the overall the idea behind the tool. We're very pleased to announce that today. It's the official launch. We're really hoping to gather a lot of Canadians to come and put their resumes on and register to try and find some jobs in the forest sector. And we're really hoping to have all the companies across Canada online, and we'll be doing a lot of outreach. And if you have any questions, please contact the Greenest Workforce. You can contact us directly, and we'll make sure to work with you to get you online if there's any problems. Thank you very much.
That sounds great. Thanks, Bob. Next, I'd like to ask Minister Mahajchuk to say a few words about what you think the tool will mean.
Well, you know, first of all, I want to just recognize how innovative and high-tech the forestry sector is. This has a long history in Canada, obviously, but an industry that has always adapted and moved with the times. The innovation here on the FPAC job bank is one of the most innovative I've ever seen. So I'm just thrilled to be here. Although it's not rocks, which is kind of where my background is, you got to recognize the professionalism and the innovation that has brought this together. And I think very useful information for Canadians. So I want to thank you so much to the Forest Products Association for inviting me. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Algonquin people and the homeland for the Métis people. And I think it's very important that as Canadians, we understand we're in a process of truth and reconciliation. We now are recognizing some of our treaties are 300 years old. In Manitoba, next year will be the celebration of the Selkirk Treaty, 200 years. So I think it is, especially when we're working with the forestry industry, many of the operations are with our Indigenous peoples in their traditional territories. I'd also like to congratulate you on your hard work towards refreshing your workforce with 60,000 new workers by 2020. Including more women, Indigenous people, and new Canadians. By making the forestry industry more inclusive, you will definitely help our Canadian economy grow. Presently, Canada is the second largest exporter of forest products in the world, with about 216,000 workers in approximately 200 communities. It's obvious this is a real opportunity. I'm here today to help launch the Forest Products Association of Canada's new job tool. LMI is kind of the lingo that HR people use, and real people, who I'm thinking might be some of you, means Labor Market Information Tool. The LMI tool will provide employers, students, workers, job seekers in the forest product sectors with accurate job market information, which is so key. And they can make more informed business, career, and training decisions. And it's all about good data. All parties will have access to accurate information about jobs in the forest products industry based on skills and region, your geography. Thanks to that, it'll be easier for them to connect. Job seekers will find the jobs they want, and employers will get the workforce that they need. What that means is that workers will be able to connect with available in-demand jobs in the industry, while ensuring that employers get the workers with the skills they need to help their businesses grow and prosper. In addition to that, training programs will be available to align their training with skills that the employers are looking for. This tool aims to address current and future skill shortages. It does that by supporting the development, distribution, and the use of demand-driven, employer-led, and validated labor market information, national occupational standards, and skills certification and accreditation programs. The government continues to work in close partnership with industries in the provinces and territories to enhance LMI for Canadians. And it's initiatives like the one we announced today that will help Canada face oncoming challenges and make sure Canada remains a leader in the forest industry. Many of the challenges we face today are with the redeployment of skilled workers from the commodities petroleum industry. So as they're looking for new opportunities, particularly in BC and Alberta, there are many Canadians that will find this tool particularly useful. I really thank both of you for the innovation, for the department with working with you. It's truly a success story. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Minister. We really appreciate your words and really appreciate you joining us here today.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So we're just going to take a 30-second break and then we'll hear from two more guests. Hi, we're back. Ensuite, j'aimerais demander, comme les Picard de Resolute Forest Products, à parler de cet outil d'une perspective d'une entreprise dans notre secteur. Melissa.
Merci, Simon. Madame la ministre, je suis vraiment très fière aujourd'hui de représenter Produits forestiers Resolute à cette conférence de presse. En fait, c'est une bonne nouvelle pour l'industrie d'avoir un outil comme celui-ci. C'est le premier outil dans l'industrie qui associe les chercheurs d'emploi et les employeurs. Donc, on peut faire des associations au niveau des compétences, ce qui est vraiment excellent. L'industrie forestière est une industrie qui est riche de son passé. Madame la ministre, vous l'avez mentionné tantôt. Ça est aussi synonyme que notre main-d'œuvre est vieillissante. On a beaucoup de départs à la retraite, donc il y a des gens qui quittent également. Donc, on doit revitaliser notre main-d'œuvre. Par exemple, chez nous, pour Produits forestiers Resolute, ça représente environ 3000 emplois à combler dans les 3 prochaines années. On recrute environ à 1000 candidatures par année. Donc, cet outil-là va nous permettre, en fait, d'afficher l'ensemble de nos postes au Canada. C'est une plateforme supplémentaire pour nous pour faire la promotion de ces emplois-là. Puis, on est très fiers, en fait, d'avoir contribué à la configuration de cet outil-là dès le départ. Donc, voilà, ce sont des bons avantages pour nous.
Excellent. Merci, Melissa.
Merci.
And unfortunately, we have to take another quick break, and then we'll hear from another guest. Hi, we're back. And next, I'm going to ask Nabita Robinson, another one of our guests, and someone who is an educator and in touch with lots of students who, in some cases, are looking for work, to say a few words. And Ms. Robinson is the CEO of Polytechnics Canada, the voice of leading research-intensive, publicly funded polytechnics, colleges, and institutes of technology. Ms. Robinson.
Thank you very much, Simon. Minister, a delight to be with you, and to my colleagues at FPAC. Thank you very much for inviting me. Bonjour tout le monde. Just a few brief words to capture the supply side perspective of this great innovative tool and the leadership shown by FPAC with support from the Government of Canada to take data that is vital for the employers but make it actually accessible to the learners, to the job seekers. And so for a long time, my association has been an advocate for better labor market data, as the minister mentioned, to get people to the jobs in demand. When one looks at this tool, you see a number of things. You see the vast set of jobs that are available for all kinds of highly qualified skilled workers, including tradespeople. There's an inclusivity to watching your front page of your website of this tool. You need engineers, you need millwrights, you need all kinds of workers, and that's a message we really actually have a secondary benefit of the tool. So I do thank FPAC and particularly Bob Larocque. He reached out to some of my member colleges and polytechnics who gave some advice and navigation as you built the tool. So that's why I'm here to speak on behalf of those institutions that contributed, for whom their students and their graduates will benefit. I, of course, think more can be done because this is showing us labor market demand. This is showing us even forecasting, but we need to get the supply side story linked to this tool, because across Canada's universities, colleges, and polytechnics in all sectors across the region, we are producing the talent that this community needs, this community of employers. It would be so good to be able to have quick navigation to where that talent lies. So that's a future hope I have for this tool. But I congratulate everyone, and I thank you for letting me be here today.
Thank you so much for joining us. That was great. So we're going to take another quick pause, and then we'll be back for question and answers with the minister and Bob Larocque. And for those of you who have a question, you can just submit them to us now. You'll find the form just under on the form underneath the video. Sorry about that. Thanks. Hi, we're back for questions and answers with Bob Larocque from FPAC and Minister Mahaichuk. And again, if you have any questions, please send them in. First question is, probably mostly for Bob, how is this tool different from all the other online job search tools that already exist?
Yeah, so what we feel is different is forestry only. We, like the minister was saying, we do represent about 215,000, 230,000 jobs across the country. So it's nice to be able to navigate within our sector and understand the type of jobs we offer and the salaries and the benefits of working in the forest industry. And the other thing that's interesting is that there's some that provide labor market information through types of report that are based on yearly results or analysis, or tools like Workopolis or Monster that are more like a job matching if you want. But there's no tool that does them both at the same time, completely available and free for any employer or Canadians in Canada.
Okay, thanks, Bob. And we have another question from Beth from Alberta, and the question is, are there other sectors that are doing this as well, or is it just the forest products industry?
Well, the Sectoral Initiative Program, the Government of Canada has funded several different sectors to get better labor market information and the jobs that we're talking about. I'm aware that some other sectors are doing similar, if you want, and we're actually looking at leveraging this, or if any other sector is interested, we're totally open to sharing how we did it and sharing the information and how it's done to them, so we can. You see, the goal to me would be nice to have a national labor market information where we all feed in the same type of data, so it's all accurate, so it's all accessible to everyone, and hopefully that will happen in the near future.
I'd like to just point out that we have Jobs Bank and encourage all Canadians to check it out. It has all sectors on it. And keep your eye on the website. We're planning some changes there too that should be more like what you've done already. So,
and maybe one thing on that one is maybe I didn't clarify it, but our system talks to Job Bank. So at midnight every night, once the jobs are posted, all the jobs are going on Job Bank. So it's a nice way of leveraging both systems, right, and making a win-win out of it, and just having the employer's multiple facets where the jobs are posted. And for job seekers, you can register on Job Bank, you can register on our system. You will both get access to the same job posting and application process.
And just in case anybody's not familiar with Jobs Bank, do you want to elaborate on that?
Well, the Government of Canada has a central source of jobs, and we've encouraged all employers to post their positions on Job Bank. Anybody who's unemployed will be going into Service Canada or contacting Service Canada in some way, whether it's online, by phone, or in person, and they will direct you to Job Bank. And Job Bank has positions across the whole country in every field. And we're tied in with Workopolis and other larger job connection private organizations or businesses. So it is supposed to be Canada's #1 source. Not all jobs are there, so we continue to work. And as I say, we expect us to announce a new rollout to make it more fulsome, more relevant, and more user-friendly.
Thank you. And we do have another question. This one's from Rob from BC. And Rob wants to know, if I have multiple skills, can I post different resumes to different jobs? Or can I only apply for one type of skill set?
Yeah, so no, you can apply for multiple jobs. So as you're creating your profile, if you have multiple skills, or you can have more than one skills or education or career path that you would like to be matched on, you have opportunity to have multiple resumes. Either you can create them on the site, or you can bring them through a Word document or PDF. And the beauty of it is, if you're applying to a job that I would have posted, you can apply using resume #1. But then Minister Mahaichuk would have a job posted, you could use resume #2. So it's all flexible.
Right.
Okay.
And the next one is sort of a general question, just asking for a little more information on the labor market information part of this, if you could just elaborate on that.
Yeah, so the labor market information is composed of 3 components. One of them is the jobs that are posted. So we take that into account and making sure that it reflects certain regions. Sometimes there might be growth in a certain region, so the forecasting will be reflected there if more jobs are being posted. Also, it is based on the wage and vacancy survey that is currently being done by Employment and Social Development Canada and Stats Canada. We have the same kind of survey that we're doing to ensure vacancies, because a company may not be posting today, but might be looking for someone by the end of the year or next year, so we count that as part of the forecast. And last but not least, there's also, we call it an economic algorithm, but it represents all of the facilities across the country, and we've assigned the different type of skills per facility. And based on that, we're able to forecast in the age demographic, and we're using the census data from Stats Canada, and that's how we're able to. So those 3 components together makes the forecasting trend and the labor market information accurate.
Great, thanks, Bob. So we do have another question specifically for you, Minister, from Gregoire in BC, and he's asking, what's the future of this project? Where do you see it going?
Well, for this project, I think it's going to be important that Canadians have an opportunity to fill the spots in forestry. Like I started out saying, I think it's a modern, high-tech industry with a lot of opportunities. So I think it'll be used. I think the user number of people that come to the site will hopefully soar, and companies will find the people they need, and people will be able to find the jobs that they're so desperately searching for. And BC is doing quite well, but you have times where you've seen underemployment and or unemployment. So this will help find something that is good for you.
Thank you very much. So I'm not seeing any other questions come in just yet. I know, Minister, you have a tight schedule, so I want to thank you again for joining us. And just a reminder to reporters, educators, anybody else looking for more details, you can refer to our press release, which is on our website at fpac.ca and was distributed over the Canada News Wire earlier this morning. Or you can contact me directly. My contact points are on the release. So merci encore tout le monde, and thanks so much for joining us.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci.